Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about a powerful and widely used tool in cybersecurity, that is Kerbrute. If you have ever dealt with Active Directory security, penetration testing, or red team engagements, you've probably heard this name before. But what exactly is Kerbrute? How does it work? And why is it so important in both attacking and defending Active Directory environments? That's what we are going to explore in this session. Kerbrute is a tool written in Go that allows attackers and penetration testers to interact with the Kerberos authentication protocol, which is the heart of authentication in Active Directory. It is not a hacking tool in the malicious sense. It's a penetration testing utility. Security professionals use it to identify misconfigurations, weak credentials, and potential entry points in an Active Directory environment. Kerbrute primarily helps with user enumeration, that is identifying valid usernames in a domain, password brute forcing, which is attempting login with multiple passwords, and password spraying, trying one password across many accounts to avoid account lockouts. Active Directory is used in more than 90% of Fortune 500 companies. It manages identities, devices, and resources across organizations. Kerberos, the authentication protocol behind it, was designed to be secure. However, any authentication system has a weak point: usernames and passwords. Kerbrute exploits this by interacting directly with Kerberos authentication requests, which often leak information about whether a user account exists or not. In real world attacks, an attacker often doesn't know usernames or passwords at the beginning. Kerbrute helps bridge that gap by allowing quick discovery of valid accounts, which then makes further attacks possible. Let's break this down step by step. 1. The Kerberos protocol basics. Kerberos works by using tickets. When a user logs in, the system requests a ticket granting ticket, that is TGT, from the Key Distribution Center or KDC, which is part of the domain controller. If authentication is successful, the TGT is issued. Number 2, user enumeration with Kerbrute. Kerbrute abuses the fact that when you request a TGT, the KDC responds differently depending on whether the username exists or not. If the username is valid but the password is wrong, you get a specific error. If the username does not exist, you get a different error. This difference allows Kerbrute to confirm which accounts exist in the domain. That's called user enumeration. Number 3, password brute forcing. Once valid usernames are found, Kerbrute can try multiple passwords for those accounts. If the password is weak or guessable, Kerbrute might crack it. Number 4, password spraying. Traditional brute forcing risks account lockouts because too many failed login attempts trigger security policies. Kerbrute's password spraying avoids this by trying one password across many users, which is less likely to lock accounts and still effective if users follow weak patterns like welcome123 or password at 2025. Some of the key features of Kerbrute are speed, parallelism, that is, it uses multiple threads to handle authentication attempts simultaneously, no domain logon required. Kerbrute doesn't need a valid account to start, it only needs the domain name or IP. Realistic attack simulation. Red teamers and penetration testers can simulate real world attack scenarios without immediately triggering alarms. Since Kerbrute highlights weaknesses, organizations must know how to defend against it. Some effective strategies include account lockout policies, which prevents unlimited password attempts, strong password policies that require complex unique passwords, multi-factor authentication makes Kerbrute useless because knowing the password isn't enough, monitoring and logging detects unusual Kerberos requests or login failures, user awareness train employees not to use predictable passwords. If administrators enforce these practices, Kerbrute attacks become much harder. It's important to note that Kerbrute should only be used for authorized penetration testing and security assessments. Using it without permission is illegal and unethical. Security professionals use Kerbrute to strengthen defenses, not to exploit them. In fact, many penetration testers report their findings and help organizations patch weak spots before attackers can take advantage. Let's connect this to real world security. Many major breaches started with weak or leaked credentials. Kerbrute is a tool that simulates how attackers find those weak points. By using Kerbrute responsibly, defenders can discover accounts with weak passwords, users with default credentials, and gaps in lockout or monitoring policies. This proactive testing is critical in today's cybersecurity landscape, where credential based attacks are among the top causes of data breaches. To summarize, Kerbrute is a Go based tool that interacts with Kerberos for user enumeration, brute forcing, and password spraying. It is extremely fast, efficient, and useful for penetration testing in Active Directory environments. While it can be dangerous in the wrong hands, in the hands of security professionals, it becomes a defensive weapon. The best defense against Kerbrute attacks lies in strong authentication policies, MFA, and vigilant monitoring. So the next time you hear about Kerbrute, remember, it's not just a tool for attackers, it's also a mirror that shows organizations where they are most vulnerable. And in cybersecurity, awareness is always the first step towards protection. So until we meet next time, stay safe.